my name is Jennifer. Welcome to my channel, Narcissist. And if this is your first time here, I do talk about narcissism on this channel, and I am a survivor of narcissistic abuse. So I've been on my journey for quite some time, and so I talk about it here and try to support others who are going through it or supporting others who are going through it. So thank you for being here. If you would, please subscribe to my channel and also click the bell so that you will get alerted when I do upload new videos. And if you like anything that I have done, please like and share. I really would appreciate it. It does help my channel, and it does help other people too. You'd be surprised how many people it does help who are going through this. So tonight, I wanted to do a short video on someone named HGTudor. He is a narcissist / psychopath who is an author. He also has a blog page. He does videos, well, they're recordings. He does lots of interviews, and he gives consultations for a price. He also has other, he has email consultations. He has phone consultations for people who are going through narcissistic abuse. And he is someone who went into therapy, and as part of his therapy, they had talked to him about doing some writing, and he is a very good writer, and he actually enjoys writing. So he has written a lot of books, and so I'm just going to name a few of them. I have a list here. So I'm just going to name a few, but some of the books that he has written are No Contact, Fuel, Manipulated, Smeared, Red Flag, Sex and the Narcissist, and Ensnared. And there's a ton of other books. He also has a YouTube channel. It is called Knowing the Narcissist. And on this channel, he does read from his blog, and he reads a lot about what narcissists do, how they think, why they do these things, who the people they pick out are. He explains exactly why, how, the feelings behind everything, because he's a narcissist. He is able to do that. And so I find him quite fascinating, and I learned about him years ago when I heard him in an interview by accident, and it was right here on YouTube. And I forgot the channel that was, so I apologize. But I think it was, I don't want to say it wrong, but he's done plenty of interviews. And again, his name is HGTudor, and you can look him up and listen to some of the interviews that he has done. And you can look him up on Amazon and see all of the books that he has written. Tudor is Tudor. And he has a site called narcsite.com. And he has a Facebook page called Knowing the Narcissist as well. So I listened to him in this interview and found him a little bit repelling, but I found him fascinating. And because I was a person who, and I guess I still am that person, I have always wanted to know why. Narcissists don't like to give closure, and they certainly don't like to tell you the reasons why. But because he has been in therapy for a really long time, and it was part of his therapy, he is able to give this information to empaths and codependents. And it's, you know, it's very helpful. I had been in therapy for a very long time and was learning a lot about codependency. And I didn't learn anything about narcissism really, except for what I was learning on my own. And when I looked up HGTudor after listening to him in this interview, he answered a lot of questions for me. I didn't want to read his things at first, and I was projecting out some of my feelings onto him that I was feeling about the person who had abused me. And I did recognize that later, and because I was learning more and more about myself, and I was learning more about narcissism, And so I did take a look back at HGTudor, and I did end up buying one of his books, and I ended up reading every single one of his books. They were very well written, and they answered every single question that I ever had. Every single one of them. They didn't make me feel necessarily happy. There were a lot of tears, but it was what I needed to get me to the other side, because I was stuck. I was stuck at why. And I needed to get away from that. And so I'm so grateful to a narcissist, Mr. HGTudor. And I wanted to do a video about him, and it's just a short one. I'm hoping eventually he will let me do an interview with him. But it's just a short one to thank him, which will be nice narcissistic supply for him. But he really does help people, and it gives him some narcissistic supply, and he does talk about that a little bit. And, you know, you'll just have to go to his sites to learn why he does what he does, and let him explain himself a little bit. And maybe I can get him to do that if he will do an interview with me. But I wanted people to know who he was, because when we are looking up narcissism, we'll find other people. There's Sam Vatkin, and you'll learn a lot about narcissism from different psychologists, and even other people like me who have been through narcissistic abusive relationships and can relate and point some of those things out that you might not see. But to get those answers, because you don't get the closure that you wanted from someone who has, you have been trauma bonded to, and you can't seem to get over them, and you're stuck. You're just in this place of being stuck. He can help you get through that. I did do several consultations with HGTudor years ago. And the first one, I think I cried through the entire thing. So I don't even think I got anything out, really. I don't know, you could say. But I was able to finally kind of get myself together and get the answers to what I needed. And he was a major part of my growth. So it is kind of odd that part of my recovery was because of a narcissist, or yeah, I mean, a narcissist did help me get through some of that. And, you know, it's like we go to our narcissists and we try to get the answers to our whys, and we try to feel better because we want to feel better about things. We don't want to feel the way that they have left us feeling, which is discarded. And they do tend to make us feel worthless, and we take that on because that's something that is ingrained in us that we grew up with. And that's why we need to work on that. We need to work on a lot within ourselves. But understanding the narcissist helped me to also learn about myself, understand myself more, understand the narcissist more. I do have empathy for narcissists. Some people don't. I tend to have empathy for them. And you know what? I definitely do appreciate HGTudor. And because he was such a big part of me healing, I do talk about him quite often. Because if I didn't, it wouldn't be authentic of me in my recovery process. And he was a huge part of that. And so for that, he gets this video, and I send it out to the rest of you. If you have questions of why for your narcissist, you're not going to get it from your narcissist, but you can get it from another. He is a narcissist, but he is not in a relationship with you. So you can get those answers. And so I wanted to give you this video. Again, you can find HGTudor right here on YouTube at Knowing the Narcissist, where there is a flood of recordings for you to listen. I would listen to them at night. Some people, you know, you might have it when you're walking, working out in your car, something like that, and you have some downtime. It really is good information that will help take you to the other side. He gives a lot to help you recover because he knows what they want, and that is narcissistic supply. Fuel is what he calls it. and you could be giving that to them and being depleted of your own. And so it's really important to learn these things so that you can recover from narcissistic abuse. You can find him at Knowing the Narcissist on Facebook, and you can find him at narcsite.com, where he does have a forum, and there are people there that are recovering from narcissistic abuse, people who have recovered from narcissistic abuse, who have been there for a really long time, and they are right there to support you if you need to be supported. Some really good people there. So until next time, I hope this video brings you some comfort in some way, as odd as it may sound. Bye.